Welcome back to Gresswells. In the previous two videos, you'll see we've been building a 1970 Toyota Corona with Airlift's Builder Series. The car is now finished and it's just behind that door. So follow me. Josh, it is so low.
Yep.
What have you done?
Oh, put it on the floor for you. That's what you wanted, didn't you?
Is it actually on the floor?
Yeah, no, it's literally laying on the floor as low as it will go, physically.
Mission complete. Josh, the car looks amazing. Last time I saw it, it was somewhere up here. We had a whole raft of stuff last time. Video 2, we went through the whole kit.
Yeah.
That's all inside here.
Everything is underneath, all fitted up nicely, all tucked away, so you can't see it.
So show me where it is. So the controller is the heart of the Airlift 3P system. Makes sense that it's here in the front of the car. Now, how does this work? Is it attached to the manifold, or how does it work?
So this is basically run straight to the manifold, and the manifold is the brains of the whole system.
Yeah.
This connects via USB. You can connect it to your phone via Bluetooth, and this basically controls all your presets, all your heights, all that.
So this is up, down on each of all four corners, and also we've got 3 presets.
Yeah, you're correct.
Cool. Let's turn it on and see. I love that it comes up with a logo when you
Yeah,
start
that's
it.
cool. It looks good.
So this is where I can select the ride height of the car, yeah?
Yeah, so in the 3 buttons in the middle, we press the one in the middle, and that shows you the presets that we've set. So the green numbers are there. If you press it twice, it will then raise up to its ride height.
Okay, and then the one above is our...
Higher preset, and then the one at the bottom is sort of a lower preset altogether.
Okay, so at the moment the numbers say slightly higher, so we'll go ahead and set that a little bit later.
Yes.
So how do you set that? You put the pressures in manually that you want it to be, and then you press and hold, is that right?
Yeah, so if you hold it first, then you can select what PSI you want to change.
Okay, and we can change this to...
Any preset you like. You can control it from each corner. Each corner's got an up and a down.
Really easy then. So this is front
Right.
This is
Front left.
rear left, rear right.
Yeah.
That's super easy.
Yeah.
So aside from the controller in the front, if you're eagle-eyed, you will also spot the tank in the back. So that's the only other thing really here that tells us from the outside that it's on air. There's some special features on this tank though, right Josh?
Yeah, so obviously it's like a full seamless tank. Got the billet ends. We've actually used stainless elbows on the end just so it looks a bit nicer. You can also tilt it. It's very adjustable. It's got loads of little threads on the end. And it's also got the dump valve right on the edge here as well.
So it's quite a compact solution. I know some of the other types of tank, they stand up quite a way.
Yeah.
So this is mounted flush to the parcel shelf. You've made it, I can see you've made a new parcel shelf, covered it in the same sort of material as the roof and everything. So it's really tidy, thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. It looks really good in the back of there. I think it suits it down to a T.
I can see it in the rearview mirror when I'm driving as well, which is quite cool.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. And from the back, it looks even better.
Sweet. So we're in the back of the car now. We're at the position of my favourite part, which is this filler neck. You can see it comes through from the boot floor. But we've also got the compressor in the boot, which we've decided to hide because we want to use as much of the boot as possible. Obviously the spare wheel's in here as well. That's the factory location. So Josh, the challenge was to fit all of the air ride components without disturbing the original load space, really.
Yeah, basically, I really enjoy having a spare wheel because I don't like being stranded at the side of the road.
Yeah.
So I tried to keep the spare wheel. It's still in its factory position. We put the compressor here out the way because you're not going to put any of your shopping on it. Nothing's going to roll into it. So it's sort of protected there.
Yep.
And it's just not really taking up any space that we need anyway.
Water trap I can see, that's nicely tucked away and serviceable, so I can empty that. We've got the manifold in the middle, manifolds in the middle for the management we spoke about up front. And then airlines come around and then down this side, so nice, compact, pretty easy to get to as well.
Yeah, if God forbid you ever have like a small air leak, it's really annoying when you've got a really crazy boot build. I like things to be tucked away but also still accessible.
And you can see it from the other side as well if I put the bench forward.
So yeah, you can pull the bench forward, you can get to all the back of the management, all the airlines, everything is accessible, really easy, so you don't have to get in the boot to get to it.
Yeah, I think that's really important on the car you're going to use, is that you can actually maintain the system as you go.
And you do need to drain the tank and the water trap every now and then, so it's good to just be able to get to it.
Yeah, especially in the UK.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're underneath the front of the car now. It's pretty obvious to me that you've managed to install the bag. But what might not be obvious is some of the work that's gone into the arms to actually make it fit, and two, make it close up to get that ground scraping stance. And actually I can see a bit of evidence of that in action on the subframe.
Yeah, I have actually been test driving the car, and the floor does come in contact with the subframe just a little bit.
That's what we want.
That's fine. There's nothing that's going to like get damaged in this point here. So as well as we'll talk about damage there, the lowest point of the car after the subframe would have been this lower shock mount.
Yeah.
It all fitted kind of nice. It was absolutely fine. And when I raised the strut 2 inches, I just took it off the lower mount just here, and that gives us more.
So you've raised the whole thing up into this.
Into the subframe, and it makes things just a little bit easier to drive on the street.
Okay, the top arm you've made some changes as well. I can see that it's slightly shorter than before, or the angle's changed on the ball joint. What's been adjusted there?
Yeah, so the upper arm was fine, but on the very last like 10-15 mil, the ball joint was maxing out and causing damage to the ball joint. So we've altered the arm so the angle of the ball joint is like a nicer angle, and it's not going to cause any stress.
Okay, cool. And are there any other changes to get the drop that we needed?
Just a couple of little bits of trimming around here, just as a safety concern. It cleared, but when you're going over big bumps and stuff, it can expand the bag ever so slightly. So I just wanted to be safe, and I just trimmed the inside of the spring cup.
Okay, cool. Looks great under there, Josh. And you've given it a bit of a coat for me, so that's going to last a long time.
Yeah, this bit anyway. Maybe not this bit here. Yeah.
Okay, at the back of the car now, lots of things have changed here. It's quite obvious looking at the stock one to now that it is nowhere near the same. So
yeah, it's pretty different now.
We did have leaf springs, which is a big old piece of metal basically holding the axle, but now we've got various links. So run me through one by one what they do. The two, what would you call these, 2 link bars?
Yeah, so this is a 2-link system. So we've got the link bar here and link bar here.
Yep.
That basically replaces the leaf spring altogether, and it holds the axle to the car. From there, we've then used the bag mounts on the original shock mounts that the car would have came with.
Okay.
Initially, we was going to run the bag the opposite way up, but as things go, it just turned out that it was going to be easier to run it this way. These are using the original shock mount lower and top.
Okay. So completely original mountings for these aftermarket Builder Series struts.
Yeah, basically
That seems surprisingly
it's just a bolt-in kit, yeah.
Okay,
it's just a bolt-in kit.
So these bars are adjustable to move the axle fore and aft in the arch?
Yeah, so the link bars are adjustable, so that allows us to move the axle to the front of the arch and to the back of the arch.
Yeah.
But for now, it's as it is. We shouldn't have to ever adjust it again, but it's nice to have the adjustability.
So it's kind of central on drop and drive. Okay, and we've also, in addition to the 2 bars here, we've got a 3rd bar at the back. What does that do? Does that hold it from moving side to side?
Yeah, so this is an adjustable panel bar that connects the chassis to the axle, and it being adjustable, you can adjust the left to right positioning of the axle as well.
Okay, so it's welded on the chassis this end and on the actual axle the other end.
Correct, that's correct. That's
cool.
Correct.
So we've seen underneath the car, we've seen where all the components have gone, but if you remember to the first video, one of the key factors was to make it drive as well as possible, to make it drive better than it did before. So here comes the acid test. We're going to take it out.
You're the only one that knows what it used to drive like, so I think it drives good.
You've done some test miles and you're happy,
yeah.
So I think I'll be happy too. But let's take it for a spin. Come on.